So my friend Trina is doing this little challenge she's made for herself to read all of the Psalms in the month of December. So I'm gonna try it too. And I wouldn't say that I am religious. I'm Bible curious. It's more like it, and I haven't read much of the Bible, so this will be interesting. But she's reading from a Christian translation of the Bible, and I have the Jewish study Bible that just calls to me more, so that's what I'm going to read. I feel like Jews, they study the Hebrew directly, so to me it kind of makes sense, but that's just me. And I'm excited to do this with her. So the first psalm is, "Happy is the man who has not followed the counsel of the wicked, or taken the path of sinners, or joined the company of the insolent. Rather, the teaching of the Lord is his delight, and he studies that teaching day and night. He is like a tree planted beside streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, whose foliage never fades, and whatever it produces thrives. Not so the wicked. Rather, they are like chaff that wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not survive judgment, nor will sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord cherishes the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked is doomed." And mine has, this is not from my own brain, but mine has commentary, and I just jotted down some of the commentary I thought was interesting. It's debated on in here because Torah means teachings in Hebrew, and so in here when it uses the word teaching, it's debated on if it is translated to Torah as like small t teachings, or teachings with a big T as like following the way of the first 5 books. So that's debated. I thought that was interesting. And day and night is usually taken to mean always, so not literally in the day and in the night. Although there is one community, the Dead Sea Scroll community, that did take it literally. This one is interesting in that the stress of Torah, and that it stresses Torah study rather than observance, which is a rabbinical ideal called Torah Lishma, which means just to study the Torah for the sake of studying the Torah. In the first 3 verses, it tells what a righteous person does not do first, before it talks about what a righteous person does do. And I think that's interesting because I've heard on numerous occasions that what you don't do could be more important than what you do. So I think that's interesting. And also in 1 through 3, wicked is plural in the Hebrew, where righteousness is singular. So it's like, maybe this is kind of creepy for my own brain. Maybe that's because you wouldn't want to follow. You wanting to be righteous, you don't want to follow the many people who are not. You're just maybe sinning. And also verses 4 and 5 are much shorter than the first 3, which is interesting because in 4 and 5 it talks about the wicked rather than the righteous, which means it kind of reinforces the idea that they're chaff, where the righteous are deeply rooted in righteousness, I guess. Anyway, that's what I found interesting. And I'm excited to read all of the Psalms because I think it could be helpful, give me something to do for the winter. And like Trina said, there are mental health issues often in the winter time, especially in Michigan, because our winters are just so long. If anyone is actually watching and following along, that's awesome. Thank you. Bye. See you tomorrow.